اشاره کا تو ماواره یورک پر یاره درمان سندن دیر یورک پر یاره ایسان سندن دیر derviş himmete çare vuslata derviş himmete çare vuslata derdi fikate derman sendendir derdi fırkate ihsan sendendir.
dear friends, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hold this, Sally Jo? Yeah. So, my dear friends, once again, a very heartfelt welcome to you. And officially, we always start with ringing this bell. So now you're officially convened. You can't talk anymore. So also welcome to these wonderful people via internet. And we always start with doing a divine feminine. This has been a very busy week for us, so we're not fully organized. So I'm going to ask you if you can do an ilahi honoring the divine feminine. Just any ilahi, you can sing it.
Rahman, Rahim, something like that. Yeah. Do I need to? Yeah, drumming. Hakkın visali eyler tecelli din olsa halim. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allahu, Allahu
Shukran Kathiran.
Nuri Jamali speaks to the beauty of the divine light. This Ilahi, Nuri Jamali speaks to the beauty of the divine light.
Okay, is this on? Hello? No?
This is
Okay, we're still working out the microphones here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much, Timothy and Bilgahan, for this beautiful welcoming music, the Ilahis, and the beautiful presence of God. This is the beautiful thing about the presence of the divine. It is everywhere. There is nowhere it is not. And the Quran tells us, where you turn is the face of Allah. So we see it in the feminine and the masculine. We see it, we hear it, we feel it in our ancestors who are with us right here in this room right now. And we invite them in, we call them in, and we thank them for being here. Because, believe it or not, we're all related. We're all interrelated. Our ancestors all go back to the same original seed of humanity, and we all come from that seed. Don't you wish that were easier for everybody in the world to really, what we used to say, grok it, understand it on the deepest level, that when we hurt each other, we are actually hurting ourselves, and when we help each other, we are helping ourselves. So we call in our ancestors for help. We reach out to the divine feminine, the aspect of divinity that is feminine, that is sometimes overlooked. And we also acknowledge the presence and the support and the beauty of our Native American people who have been protecting, guarding, and stewarding this land upon which we walk and live. They are still here today. They still do their job of stewarding the land. They protect our salmon and our wildlife, and they teach us a lot about all the problems we have incurred for ourselves in this environment. So we thank them for that, and we recognize that we are existing on unceded territory that once belonged to them, and we acknowledge and are grateful for their continued presence here. So we thank you for being here today, and we thank you for permitting us for a little bit of disorganization as we get started this morning. But look, everybody appeared. We're here. We're all good.
Sally Jo, is it working? Oh, terrific. Okay, my thing it's working now, so let's do a one or two non-Abrahamic ahms or ohms. Deep breath. Beautiful. One more time. And now just being open to what is called the glow of presence. And in this silence, I welcome all of you. Please know your presence is truly a blessing to those who are gathered here and those on cyberspace. And since I'm a chant junkie, let's all together chant Allahu Allah, praising that God of all of humanity, knowing that when we praise God, God doesn't become holy, we become holy. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Just the beloved women, please. Just the beloved men. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Quietly once. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. twice aloud. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. And becoming very still. And as I like to just remind ourselves, silence is not the absence of sound, it is the absence of the little self. One more from Rumi. Silence is the language of God. Everything else is a poor translation. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Now, also to remind ourselves, oh, there's a seat right there. Okay, thank you. You know, Rumi was asked, Rumi, you talk about silence all the time. If you talk so much about silence, being quiet by quiet, how is it you talk so much? And what did Rumi say? Rumi said, but the most radiant, beloved one inside myself has not even said one word. Okay, my friends, so today I've just scribbled some notes. I give myself the excuse it's been a very, very unusually busy week. So it might be my best sermon of all, actually. So it's one of the topics is, well, it's Thanksgiving time now, gratitude. So the first point I wrote here was, people always say, what's the big deal about being grateful? You know, every single tradition has this practice, be grateful, be grateful. Like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, in response to a question by a Bedouin, can you just tell me one simple practice? The legislation of the Islam has become too complicated. And the Prophet Muhammad replied, keep your tongue forever moistened with the name of Allah, expressing gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So why would it work? There's a wonderful verse in the Quran that says, everything which exists on earth and in the heavens extols the limitless glory of God. Everything which exists on the earth and the heavens extols the limitless glory of God. And when I express gratitude, I am joining a cosmic chorus. I am joining a cosmic chorus and I feel exalted, uplifted. Let's just be with that for a few moments. As the mystics say, ask yourself, how does this or does this splash in my chest? And the Quran says, yes, praise God and thank God. And if you do this, it's beautiful. The Quran says it profits your own soul. So once again, the mystics, I'll quote Rumi, who says, for 60 years, I have been forgetful. For 60 years, I've been forgetful, and not once has this flowing towards me slowed down or stopped. I am so grateful. Oh God, favor upon favor have you bestowed upon this handful of dust. Oh God, favor upon favor have you bestowed upon this handful of dust. The other one I remember is about why it's beautiful to thank God also. The great teachers say, yes, always thank someone. If you receive a gift, thank that person. Thank the giver. And the insight is, if somebody gifts you a beautiful, expensive hat to wear, gives you a beautiful, just a lovely hat to wear, thank the giver, the small g. But don't forget to thank the big G, the one who gave you the head to put the hat on. And Prophet Muhammad said, look at nature. Have you seen a bird? When it sips water, it tilts its neck backwards for the water to flow, of course, but really for praise and gratitude to flow upwards. Okay, just be with that. Ask yourself, am I grateful in my life? Okay, this morning when I got up, I thought, I don't have much of a sermon to prepare, but why don't I look at this book of joy we've been studying in a class? In fact, we've been doing several classes. Do you remember that? The one by Desmond Tutu and Dalai Lama. And towards the end of the book, the question is, how do I cultivate happiness? If that's the purpose of my life, to be happy, how do I cultivate that? How do I become happy? So they say there are 4 qualities of the mind and 4 qualities of the heart. So I'll go over them very briefly. The first one is the quality of the mind, reframing. Meaning what? Meaning, in my life, in your life, remember it's a world of opposites. The Quran says of everything we have created opposites. So you might know only Allah is one. Meaning, there is bound to be some suffering. There is bound to be some suffering. Long is defined by short, high by low. There'll be joys, and yes, there will be sorrows. Can I accept that? But what the point that all the teachers are making is, Jamal, the way you respond to your inevitable suffering, I repeat, the way you respond to your inevitable suffering is what is going to shape your character and also sculpt the destiny of your life. This is a very powerful statement. And this really is the crux of that book, Book of Joy. Jamal, the way you respond to your suffering is what will shape your being, your character, and sculpt the destiny of your life. So I love that Sufi prayer. Oh God, please, please, oh God, save me from its harm. Save me from its harm, but please do not deprive me of its good. Save me from its harm, but please do not deprive me of its good. By the way, the worst thing you can tell someone, the most cruel thing you can tell someone who's suffering, oh, there's some good in it. It has to emerge from within. So when, for example, for me, when my parents passed away, it had to emerge from within me. What is the silver lining here? For me, the silver lining was, it finally gave me a taste, a deeper understanding of the invisible world. I would say after my parents died, I moved from a knowledge of the tongue to a knowledge of the heart. Rumi says, there is traffic and trade in those invisible realms, but you won't understand that until you're forced to. Death of a loved one. That's why another verse by Rumi I love. Flee not the invisible world. Flee not the invisible world, for it is a place of income. Flee not the invisible world, for it is a place of income. And this place of more or less, and this place of more or less is a place of expenditure. Okay, I better move on. I got 8 qualities to cover. So I love the story of the Mullah Nasruddin, which I think we have probably heard it, maybe in this forum here, a few hundred times. But this is one story which we actually, this afternoon, by the way, we're having this annual 37th Inter-Spiritual Thanksgiving program in St. Patrick's. And every single Thanksgiving, I say the same story. By the way, a lot of leaders get together from the world of interfaith. And what is that story? And it fits this reframing. If you remember, the mullah has lost his donkey. That's a big deal in that part of the world. So the entire village tries to find the donkey. Where is the donkey? Where is the donkey? It's a source of livelihood, his companion. They come in the evening to tell Mullah the bad news. And what's the bad news? The donkey is lost forever. But where's the Mullah? He's in the town square on his knees saying, Allah, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. Mullah, you haven't heard the bad news. Your donkey is lost forever. I know, but I'm so grateful because imagine what could have happened to me if I was on the donkey. One meaning, this is also from the Native Americans, same words, by the way, as in the Sufi tradition, that, remember this, Jamal, if you're giving thanks in times of affliction, in times of difficulties, you are giving thanks for unknown blessings already on their way. If you're giving thanks for something in your life, in times of suffering, difficulties, afflictions, you're giving thanks for unknown blessings already on their way. Okay, just be with that and I'll move much faster. Okay, the next one, the book says, and this is that something which Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu both agree. Another quality of the mind, humility. Humility. Ask yourself, am I humble? In the book, both Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu say when they first started their career, they were so tense about saying something very important, something very wise, because they were special. You know, the Archbishop, Dalai Lama. And they both said they reached a point in their life where they told themselves, I am nothing special. And those two words, nothing special, nothing special. And when they began to speak to audiences, large audiences, they would talk to themselves, nothing special, I'm the same as you. And they found that they were so much more beautifully received. But most of all the tensions left them. Now Sufis, Islamic mystics say, know that in your humility you can be quite proud. So I love the story of that 13th century sage Sadi. As a child, he would accompany his father, who was a pretty well-known spiritual teacher, who had thousands of disciples. And some nights, the disciples would stay in prayer all night long. All night long prayers, praising God, Allah, Allah. The ones you heard from these beautiful musicians, praising God, thanking God, all night long, and bowing and prostrating. But one night, and this little, he was a young, I think 9 years old, Sadi, accompanying his father on these all-night vigils. But one night, all of the followers, disciples, fell asleep. And Sadi said, Father, look at them, Father. Look at them, Father. Look at them thinking, look at them. You would think they're all dead. And the father said, sweet son, my darling son, I would rather you also fall asleep like them rather than slandering them. My sweet son, I would rather you also fall asleep like them rather than slandering them. And those words went deep into his heart. Deep into his heart. And he wrote a poem, not about that, it's become a very famous poem that, you know, on a rainy night, a raindrop fell from the sky into the sea. But as the raindrop was falling down, descending on the sea, it looked at the vastness of the sea and it blushed. That little raindrop blushed and said, who am I? Who am I in the presence of this huge vastness? And an oyster shell was so touched by the humility of this raindrop, it took it in its embrace, and that little raindrop became a precious pearl. Humility. My favorite verse is, pure is the one who has purified oneself from the notion of one's own purity. Pure is the one who has purified oneself of the notion of one's own purity. Okay, third one, humor. You must have humor, laugh. You know, as I'm in my last chapter of my life, I can either cry or laugh. Everybody around me getting ill, you know, not knowing what health challenges we shall face. So many of my friends have passed away. Shall I cry or shall I laugh? I prefer to laugh. It's so funny. We have no idea, you know, who am I? What am I doing here? And most of all, Jamal, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm laughing because I always remind myself of those famous mystical jokes. Here, like Rumi says, here, Jamal, you're so scared you'll go into non-existence. You're so scared you'll go into non-existence. But if the truth be known, non-existence is trembling in fear, it might be given human shape. Here you are so scared you'll go into non-existence. If the truth be known, non-existence is trembling in fear, it might be given human shape. And the other one I like very much, Jamal, when you do die and go over to the other side, you look back at your life. You look back at your life, at all your dramas and melodramas, and you will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. The great teachers say, hey, why wait? Why not laugh right now? That's why I love the saying of Hafiz, the 14th century sage, who says, what is this love and laughter bubbling up from within me? What is this laughter bubbling up from within me? He says, listen to my answer. It's the sound of a soul waking up. It's the sound of a soul waking up. The other one I like very much, by Hafiz again, is God wants to see more laughter, more playfulness in your eyes. God wants to see more laughter, more playfulness in your eyes, because that is your greatest witness to God. Okay, just be with that. Am I humorous? Do I laugh? Okay, the fourth one, I'm moving, okay. Acceptance. Can I accept? Can I be present? Can I be present? Accept what is. It doesn't mean that you get stuck in it, that you don't make efforts to change it if it's not acceptable, but accept, don't deny, don't avoid. Be present with what is. Again, Hafiz, 14th century Hafiz. What do sad people have in common? What do sad people have in common? They have built a shrine to a regret of the past. They have built a shrine to a regret of the past, and they keep going there again and again and again and again and doing a strange wail and worship. What do sad people have in common? They have built a shrine to a regret of the past, and they keep going there again and again and again and again and doing a strange wail and worship. What do happy people have in common? Hafiz says, they have stopped being so religious like that. And worrying about the future all the time. Jamal, you worry so much about the future. It's okay, you must learn. You must plan. But Jamal, look, consider this, the Sufis say. This is fall. I remind myself, I forget, this is fall. Yeah, this is fall. And fall is not post-summer. It's not pre-winter. It's just fall. Can I be present? Okay, 4 more to go. Very quick. Qualities of the heart. Qualities of the heart. What's the first one? The capacity, the ability to forgive. The capacity, the ability to forgive. It enlightens you. It unburdens you. You're doing yourself a favor. But there's a very important point here. The spiritual teachers point. They let us know. They say it's beautiful to forgive, but simultaneously it has meaning, it is powerful, it is effective, it is celestial, only if you simultaneously are doing the work, honoring the work of healing your wound that comes from what that person has done to you. You know, a real story, the Prophet Muhammad, he explained this. A person named Wahshi came in the presence of the Prophet Muhammad and said, "Oh, Prophet Muhammad, please forgive me, please forgive me. I have murdered your most favorite uncle." And it was actually the Prophet's most favorite uncle. And the Prophet was deeply, deeply wounded by the murder by this man, Wahshi, of his favorite relative. But Wahshi said, "Please, please, I beg you, forgive me, please forgive me." And Prophet Muhammad said, "Of course I forgive you on one condition. Don't come into my presence for at least 1 year." Why did he say that? Because the Prophet needed time to heal the pain that he had within him. If I just forgive without doing the work of taking care of that wound, I am, like the Buddha says, I am whitewashing a burning house. It won't work. I am whitewashing a burning house. So just be with that. And most of all, the teachers say, my teachers always reminded me, it is critical that you forgive yourself. If you've done it wrong, of course, ask for forgiveness, make restitution, but most of all, pray to God after you've done best you can and tell yourself, by the grace of God, I forgive you. I forgive you. I really forgive you. Okay, interesting. The next one is gratitude. But here, let me think about what the mystics would say. They would say, you know that I am not grateful for the blessings in my life until I'm in danger of losing it, whether it's something material or a relationship. Why is it that I don't value that until I'm in danger of losing it? Can I be grateful for my blessings? And we have no idea, we don't compute because we take it for granted of all the blessings we have in our life. In fact, Sufi masters, I remember saying, I've heard this many times, that one of the greatest problems you, Jamal, or any human being has, we take our blessings for granted. Which is why I love the story of the non-toothache moment, which is in several traditions. Let me take the Buddhist view. And I know you've heard it many times. I say it because just to remind myself, actually. A monk has a toothache. I don't know if you've had toothaches, but if you have a toothache, it feels very terrible. You know, it feels as, what is the word? It feels lousy. So the monk turns to all the other monks who are unhappy and says, "Do you have a toothache? Do you have a toothache? Do you have a toothache? Why aren't you happy?" It's because you don't realize this very moment is a non-toothache moment. A non-toothache moment. You know, pretty soon after this program is over, I have to rush over to St. Patrick's. What if my car doesn't start? Only then, oh my God, if only the car started, I'd be so happy. But my car starts all the time, mostly. Do I celebrate those times? Which reminds me of the story by that beloved female saint, Rabia, 8th, 9th century. Remember that story? She encountered this man who had this huge colored turban around his head. He was moaning and groaning, just, oh my God, I'm terrible, it's so painful. She said, what is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, I have this terrible headache. And he was loudly moaning and groaning. And she said, brother, I'm so sorry you have this headache. But let me ask you a question. Did you have times in your life where you never had this headache? Oh yeah, most of my life I've never had this headache. Then she said, in those times when you did not have a headache, did you also wear a turban around your head and jump up and down? No headache, no headache, no headache. Why didn't you do that? To remind ourselves, can I be present with my blessings? Okay, 2 more very quickly. Compassion. This is something we talk about all the time. Compassion. Prophet Muhammad said the entire spiritual wisdom of Islamic spirituality is contained in the Basmallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I know you sing it all the time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Prophet Muhammad said the entire wisdom of Islam is contained in Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God who is boundlessly compassionate, infinitely merciful. When a Bedouin asked the Prophet, what is the deeper meaning of this? And he said, this is the secret to life. Be compassionate with yourself and be compassionate with others. Be compassionate with yourself and be compassionate with others. So ask yourself, in what ways am I gentle, compassionate with myself? For me, I love that technique of sacred naming. Ever since I was a childhood, I was asked, son, what is a name or sentence you can use with yourself? My name is Jamal, but something you can add to that that evokes compassion. Because the truth is, we talk to ourselves all the time, quietly, and a lot of it is negative. I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not rich enough. So do a spiritual intervention. For me, I use the word brother. I call myself brother. But in time when I get angry, I restrain myself because I talk to myself. But Brother Jamal, please, please, please restrain yourself. Don't say something, do something you'll regret. You can't take it back. The moment I say, but please, Brother Jamal, it's also the tone is very important. A wave of compassion comes over me. And when I have difficult feelings, again, anger, jealousy, I'm gentle with myself. It's okay, let it ring. It's a confirmation. It says, yeah, practice that. Be compassionate with yourself. And what does it mean to be compassionate with others? To have compassionate awareness. Like today we'll be talking about Hamas is evil. Yes, but make a distinction. If you're a true compassionate human being, you can say the actions of Hamas in killing innocent people is evil, but their beings are sacred. It is Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature. Like the great mystic Kabir says, when you meet an adversary, do what is right. Protect yourself. Don't allow yourself to be abused. Take the right action. But as you take the right action, please, I beg you, he says, don't keep that person's essence out of your heart. And just this discernment, distinction between behavior and being has the power to shift heaven and earth. Whether it's the Israeli settler or Hamas or this or that, can I make a distinction between behavior and being? You'll be glad to know the last one. Generosity. Salijo, last night you recited a verse from the Quran about loan.
Okay. This is a verse from chapter 2 of the Quran, the Barakah. And it asks a question of us. It says, who is the one who will loan to God a beautiful loan? Who is the one who will loan to God a beautiful loan? God will return it to him many manifold times and will duplicate it and multiply it to his credit. And he said, God it is who decides what we have in abundance and when we are restricted. And unto God shall we all be brought back. So when we are generous, it seems odd. We're giving God a loan, but in fact, that's what the Quran is saying. When we give to others, we are giving a loan, and it will come back to us in many manifold ways. Thank you.
So I'll end with a very famous Sufi story of God who comes down in the guise of a beggar, approaches two other beggars, and says, please, please, I'm poor, give me some money. And one beggar gives a copper coin, a measly copper coin, and the other beggar gives 5 copper coins. And then this beggar, who in disguise is God, transforms those copper coins into gold and returns it to the beggars. And that's the end of the story. Being gracious and generous. That's why I love this insight in Islamic spirituality. The character of a wali means friend of God, is based on nothing more. The character of a friend of God is based on nothing more than graciousness and generosity. Okay, my friends, I thought I would speak very little because I just scribbled notes. I probably talk more than I usually do when I'm prepared for a sermon. So I'll make my meditation much shorter. Close your eyes, please. Focus on your nostrils kindly. And then just be present with the breath as you inhale and as you exhale. And now, letting go of that kindly. And this time, focus attention on your heart. Our heart has been yearning, aching, thirsting to connect with us. If it works for you, please put one hand over the heart and even the other hand on top of it if you like. But the point is, bond, connect, please, with the heart. There's an entire meditation where you, by touching the heart, connect with the beat of the heart. Allah, Jesus, divinity, the Tao, Elohim, is the heartbeat within the heartbeat. And now, through the heart, please listen to this beautiful revelation that came to the Prophet Muhammad in a dream where Allah, the God of all of humanity, says to each one of us, Spirit is saying, "O beloved one, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart." Just be with that. The divinity is outside of us and also inside of us, inside the innermost chambers of our heart. And now, some teachers suggest, from the Quran it says, to God belong the most beautiful names. Connect with that ultimate beloved residing in the innermost chamber of the heart by focusing on the heart and maybe with feeling saying, I love you. With feeling. No matter how awkward it might feel initially, I love you. Or please help me to love you. Please help me to love you. I love you. You can repeat it again and again and again. One can never overdo this. I love you. You can add other words. Thank you. I am so grateful. Thank you. You can go on. Please, please help me. Please help me. I need help. Please help me. I need help. I surrender to you. Please help me. Anything else you want to add? But please, say it with feeling. I love you. Please help me to love you. Thank you. I am so grateful. Please help me. Please help me. As we keep saying those words, a most exquisitely beautiful divine vibration is going from the tongue into the mouth, into the throat, deep into the chest, even deeper, into the heart, even deeper, into the hidden, and even deeper into the hidden of the hidden. Amazingly, astonishingly loving us, blessing us, healing us, empowering us. And now, stop saying anything at all. And sing with me again that chant. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. One more time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Becoming very still while I ask our beautiful Sufi musicians to play some music if you want to.
This is plenty, I think. One should be plenty. If I figure out how to. So we have a couple of ilahis for you to end. And as we speak of the heartbeat, the bandir represents the heartbeat. And it's the very basic Allah, and then the expansion of it. And the ilahi talks about how others won't understand you because the sweet drunkenness of God's love is something that may make others even laugh at you because they won't know, but the love of God will take over and bring those who love God, bring them closer and transform them.
The Ilahi is a particular sort of devotional hymn in the Turkish Sufi tradition. Melodies setting the ecstatic poetry of Sufi poets, including a couple our brother mentioned, Sadi, Nestimi, Hudayi, especially Yunus Emre. And I like to think of them as love songs to God, but also love songs from God, or maybe they're both at the same time. Because at a certain point, if you become involved with music, you realize, or any art, you are not making art. You are not making music. if you're blessed and fortunate and have devoted enough effort to cultivating the tools and the skills necessary to the realization of art, then what's happening is you're just allowing the music, the art, to come through you. It's not something you are doing. So that's what these songs are about. I'll do a little tuxing.
Bize güler var, bize
taking our blessings for granted. She has been a gem in our community, to Interfaith Community Sanctuary, also the Sufi community, and she's leaving us, going next month to Germany. We shall miss you. Send her light and love and prayer. Just in your own way, just send her light and love. And Timothy, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Thank you. Sadhu, it's time for collection. Talking about giving a loan to God, here we go.
Yeah, this is our chance, to have it multiplied many times. And we do thank you so much for the support that you have given us and that continue to give us. And this is providing our opportunity to maintain and steward this beautiful historic building built in 1890, which is still serving us so well. Look at the trees outside these windows. It's just so beautiful. And we have a lot of upkeep to the house of God here, and many, many wonderful opportunities to get together and to share and to enjoy our time together here. And we thank you for making all that possible. And this is a volunteer community, and we appreciate deeply all the hours and hours of volunteer time that go into the operation of this place, and how many people do that special work for us, which is also a form of giving that we truly appreciate. Thank you.
Sergio, since you recite so many Quranic verses, will it bless this the money here?
Well, yes, I guess I could try to do that. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mandala diakra arahu karjan. Oh, wait a minute. Mandala dia. I was going to say it in Arabic, but I think I'm too tired.
It's a sincerity which counts.
Yeah. All right. In the name of God, the infinitely compassionate and most merciful. Who is the one who will loan to God a beautiful loan? He will return it to him many, many manifold times. And it is God who restricts and God who provides abundance. And unto God shall we all be brought back. Amen.
You can blow into it. Okay, you've been insured. Year and hereafter.
And we have many beautiful events coming up. I was going to talk a little bit about that. I know that Jamal referred to the fact that we had a beautiful gala last night, our annual Bengali gala, which we have had to put off for 4 years because of the COVID epidemic and all the difficulties getting together in person. But last night we actually met at Unity of Linwood, one of our very close sister institutions that presents many interfaith services, and Jamal speaks there often. And they hosted our dinner last night, and we had almost 100 people attend. It was a beautiful event, and it will all benefit the Soraya Attar Medical Clinic, which is the medical clinic for women and children that Jamal and his family established in Chondapur, in their ancestral village of Chondapur in Bangladesh. And we heard many wonderful reports from the now 3-4 generations of people who have worked to make that community more prosperous, with a school for girls and a clinic for women and children. And today, this afternoon at 2 o'clock, St. Patrick's Church, Catholic Church, which is another one of our companions and partners in interfaith understanding, they're hosting the 37th annual interspiritual celebration of Thanksgiving, praise and thanksgiving. And that will be at St. Patrick's Church at 2702 Broadway East, and there is plenty of parking there. It's up on Capitol Hill, and this will be especially focused on the situation in Gaza and Palestine and Israeli, the conflict there, and there will be representatives of indigenous Jewish, Christian, and Muslim traditions to try to celebrate Thanksgiving and peace in difficult times. And this is the challenge. How can we be grateful when horrible things are happening? So let's try to think about that and go and celebrate with them at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's a free offering. And anything else about that?
Just one quick note. I have a request from, it's going to be a large gathering. from different faith traditions. And hopefully some of you will come. They're desperately looking for some volunteers to help, at least 8 volunteers. So if you're thinking of going, please volunteer yourself. That'll be wonderful. Yeah, a little bit before 2 o'clock, and they will tell you what they would need.
Okay, mostly for welcoming people, and then there's going to be some refreshments afterwards and that kind of thing. So also, we have our Sunday service every Sunday, as you know, at 10 a.m., and that next Sunday will be the 4th Sunday, and I'm not sure, do we have news on that?
Yeah, that's Karen Lindquist, who unfortunately, that's my colleague and co-founder with me here, pillar of our institution, not feeling well. So I think we'll have to create that program. We'll have a great program. Please come next Sunday.
And so there are other programs that happen throughout the week, different classes and gatherings, and
So our teacher, our Turkish teacher is coming to the U.S. He's right now on the East Coast with his tour. Starting December 11th, he'll be here, and we'll have a lot of classes at the sanctuary. So look for that information, please. December 17th is Sheb-i Aruz, the wedding night of Jalaluddin Mevlana Rumi. And inshallah, we'll have a big whirling Sema ceremony at Oddfellows. So other than that, everything else will be here for that whole week. So December 11th through 17th. We do have our Mevlevi Monday nights. If you like to listen to the music and come, maybe do a little bit dhikr, remembrance, and whirling. That's also every Monday night at 7:30 here. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, just to add to that, I invite all of you to come here on Monday evening, December 11th, when Timuçin Çavukoğlu, a complete master of the makam tradition of Turkish Ottoman music, will lead us in a Ilahi zikr, which means an hour or so of continuous music of the sort we've been playing. And it's a participatory ritual rather than a spiritual concert where everyone's just sitting in chairs looking at you. So we'll be in a circle, and there's movement, and we chant any number of the holy names of Allah in the Muslim tradition. And our teacher, Timuçin Hoca, is an absolute master of this music, and we heartily invite you to show up for that event and any of the events, the music instruction. And Saturday, it would be December 16th, midday, there's a special Ilahi class, so you can learn how to sing this music. And it's an awesome opportunity, and we thank our beautiful hosts in this beautiful building who make us feel so welcome.
yeah, so do check out the website for other classes and offerings throughout the week. We have a Native American Women's Sisiwa Circle. We have meditation group on Thursday evenings at 7 o'clock with George, and we have Course in Miracles, and many, many different opportunities for us to gather and to become more involved in our own spiritual journey, however that leads us. Thank you.
Yes, so please do check the website. We have lots of activities. Let's do a closing blessing. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. My friends, you're still not unconvened yet. Until we ring this bell. Salijo, I'll hold this. You ring the bell, then you. Oh, is there one more?
One for the road? Yeah, sure. That's right. Yeah, please. Or should this be after this?
We can have a sharing. It's a sharing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, after sharing. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. So my friends, we always say this, the real service, the real benefits of any presentations, conferences, is not during the presentations, is during coffee break, lunch break. So please join us downstairs, because that's the real service over fellowship. And we have some treats, I think, downstairs, yeah. So over beverages and wonderful treats and particularly conversations, do join us downstairs. So ring the bell. You got to ring the bell.